Hello there. What is going on, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Awesome Gaming News. This is a new show I'm doing, and the first episode is going to focus on some awesome gaming news from around the world of tabletop gaming. This is an attempt to bring some positivity, some light into our lives in a news cycle that is too often dominated by shock, awe, negative stories, overreactions, and depressing news feeds. I wanted to bring some positivity into your life and into the world of tabletop gaming, so we're going to be talking about some awesome gaming news. So with all that, without getting into any more admin stuff or any of that stuff, I'll do all that at the end of the video. Let's go ahead and just jump into an awesome news cycle with some awesome gaming news. And we're going to cover a lot of types of games. We're going to start off with some Star Wars gaming, as I cover Star Wars quite a bit. Let's talk about Star Wars X-Wing, which has seen its fair share of awesome gaming news in recent days. On top of the recent announcements by Atomic Mass Games, releasing some free content for X-Wing players in the form of the previously developed but then canceled expansions for the TIE Phantom and the Gunboat. Those were both made available for free on Atomic Mass Games' website. So if you head over to atomicmassgames.com, you can check out the X-Wing free print and play PDFs. The notable things there are the standard loadouts for both ships that are going to offer some very interesting new options to your existing games of Star Wars X-Wing, the miniatures game. But on top of that, the X-Wing Alliance has also released a points beta, which is their own attempt to have the community take this game forward. And if you're interested in trying out some of the new points, you can definitely check those. A lot of the X-Wing Alliance has published those. They're in the Discord. You can also check out a lot of the list builders are starting to include those. Now, these aren't official yet, but I imagine these will be kind of becoming more dominant in competitive play after Worlds 2025, because Worlds 2025, I believe, is still going to have to use the official points. But it is really cool to see the community take the game forward. And, even at the same time, that new stuff is coming out from AMG with those PDFs. But X-Wing isn't the only game getting some news. Star Wars Unlimited is now in full preview mode for the Twilight of the Republic, set number 3. Fantasy Flight Games has been sharing spoilers out with multiple community sources. There are new card previews coming out near daily now. Twilight of the Republic is the third set in Star Wars Unlimited. This set is going to feature largely the Clone Wars based content. So if you've been playing, you've seen that the first set was primarily the Galactic Civil War original trilogy, and then set number 2 dealt largely with the Underworld and Mandalorian, and some sequel trilogy characters as well. It was kind of 50-50 there, but Star Wars Unlimited is largely Clone Wars based, and it's going to be a very exciting set, introducing new tactics, new strategies, new starters, new keywords, and all of that. And again, daily we're getting new spoilers and previews from set number 3, Twilight of the Republic, which has been a pretty exciting thing for fans of Star Wars Unlimited. Fans of Star Wars Armada have a lot to look forward to, because we are just rounding the corner. October is slated to be a month that we're going to be getting some new content for Star Wars Armada. This may be similar to what X-Wing got, in that there was some stuff developed that was then canceled and they decided to release it. This was also a lot of people who have, as I've been talking about this, have said in the comments, where did you hear about this? I haven't seen anything posted. Ion Radio was talking with Will Schick at Gen Con and was able to get this, and it was also confirmed by someone else at AMG. So it's something that's coming that they haven't been shouting from the mountaintops, but they have kind of leaked to the community. I say leaked, but they've told the community. They've been forthcoming, and so something interesting is coming for Armada. We also have the Armada Rule Set Collective that is definitely keeping their eyes open to also, similar to the X-Wing Alliance, to kind of take the game forward and past Worlds 2025. And again, the game is in good hands. A lot of people are playing this still, doing very, very well. Star Wars Shatterpoint recently had some really long-awaited and anticipated releases in the form of Grand Admiral Thrawn and the Star Wars Ghost crew, the specters. And those certainly haven't been the only expansions released for Star Wars Shatterpoint, but I thought they were pretty noteworthy, being absolute fan favorites. There have been some amazing amazing paint jobs shown up. I've done an unboxing. I'm still working on the painting. They're in my backlog right now because I've had a big pile of shame that I've been whittling down. But there's some really cool tutorials. I saw Elle Firespray had a really nice tutorial for Kanan, where she's blowing it. She's knocking it out of the park with the paint jobs lately, and this Shatterpoint stuff is really, really good. So very cool stuff. But again, a lot of very interesting stuff on the horizon for Shatterpoint as well. In the world of board games, or I should say tabletop games that can be played on a board but aren't necessarily, I guess it still kind of falls into more of the board and card, is the Star Wars deck building game, the Clone Wars edition, released from Fantasy Flight Games. Now, fans of the original Star Wars deck building game will note that one is primarily original trilogy content, and this one is primarily Clone Wars content. Well, fully Clone Wars content. It does play very similar. We did an unboxing. A review for this is coming, but fans of the Star Wars deck building game rejoice. There is more content for this, and it has hit stores. People are playing it. People are loving it. And if you're a big fan of the Clone Wars and you like deck building games, definitely check out the Star Wars deck building game Clone Wars Edition. Moving forward into Games Workshop, the Nova Open happened, and GW put out massive roadmaps for all of their games. There's too much in here for me to talk about, but lots and lots. If you go to Warhammer Community, they have lots of ads and talking about all the different games, notably 40K has a lot of codexes to come. Of course, I'm keeping my eye on the Astra Militarum. If I do ever go full-blown into Warhammer 40K, it will probably be Astra Militarum, because I really have to say I do like the tanks, and they have some of the most gorgeous tanks in all of tabletop gaming. So, but also in the world of 40K, Space Marine 2. Now, this is a video game, but it definitely, I wanted to include it. This launched recently and has been doing pretty well. I've seen lots of positive takeaways from Space Marine 2. Really beautiful game, and it's nice to see GW doing more and more video games. I mean, they've done video games for years, but to see video games getting top shelf attention is always exciting, and it's nice to be able to have this world that you've fallen in love with on your tabletop, also to be able to play video games with it, and it's always an exciting time to see your hobby become a little more mainstream. Of course, the Henry Cavill and the Amazon show, and all, there's plenty more coming for 40K, which is very exciting. Into my particular slice of GW that I play most is Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Has had a lot of new stuff announced with the Nova Open. Not only have we got a ton of new Skaven stuff announced, a ton of new Stormcast Eternals. Also, there's also been a roadmap. More is coming for Age of Sigmar, but they're also doing the Anvil of Apotheosis for those of you who wanted to play the narrative and to create your own character. That is also coming, which has got a lot of people very excited about that. A lot of people really like to be able to create their own characters, especially in some type of organized way. And so that's going to be a fun option for a lot of people who want to do that, especially if you like kit bashing and a lot of the customization that can come into the hobby. It's a very cool way to look at hero creation and custom unit creation. From Monster Fight Club has some news with their game. They have a new Kickstarter that's going to be coming out, which has a lot of custom pre-done bases, which are going to look really, really cool. And also, if you're a fan of Cyberpunk Combat Zone, they announced that single shots are going to be coming to their web store. And effectively, this is a way for you to update your gangs to be able to get maybe that 1Z or 2Z type of character that you wanted without having to buy an entire pack. There are plenty of times where maybe you didn't want to buy a pack of 4 or 5 miniatures just to get the one that you wanted, and so they're going to be making some miniatures available as individual purchases. So this way you can say, you know, I want that medic from here, and I want that dude with the grenade from here, and then I want that guy with the guitar because I'm making like a rock band version of my gang or something like that. You'll have more options to be able to do single shots on the Monster Fight Club website. If you haven't already checked out Cyberpunk Combat Zone, very fun game. We're actually going to be playing using the new ship. We're going to be doing a very, very cool, again, awesome scenery, awesome terrain, awesome gameplay with the reaction system. It's definitely worth checking out. Lego and Asmodee have a new partnership, and this is an interesting way for Asmodee to develop Lego board games. And the first of these is going to be coming. It's called Monkey Palace. It's going to be previewed at Essen. So if you're interested in checking out Monkey Palace and learning more about Lego and Asmodee and their partnership, you definitely want to check that out at Essen. And of course, it will be gaining more visibility and within their efforts in the near future. But for fans of Lego, that's a very cool possibility on what the future might hold between Lego and Asmodee. As we go into talking about Essen and in October, and we get into quarter four, there is still very cool and exciting things coming. Halo Flashpoint from Mantic is a really cool game. You've heard me talk about it before. We're getting closer and closer to this one coming out. I'm super excited for this one. It has Halo miniatures. You've got Spartans, red and blue. Again, they're pre-colored, but not fully painted, but they're colored, so you can play it straight out of the box, or you can paint them up if you want to. But I love that. I love that they're pre-colored, so you can easily tell whose is who. It's also a tribute to red versus blue, and the fact that they're ready to be painted whenever you do decide to. So you can get it, open up the box, start playing right away, and then after you settle down, you're like, oh man, that's cool. And you're like, now I know how I want to paint these guys, because these guys were really aggressive. I want to go with this paint scheme. But this is a game that's going to play a lot like a Halo deathmatch. You're going to have grenades and hammers and things that you can pick up. It comes with terrain. Very anxious to showcase this a little bit more. Be on the lookout for more from Mantic and Halo Flashpoint. And of course, got to talk about quarter four and Star Trek Into the Unknown from WizKids. We have some news. This one is still scheduled for quarter four. I believe they're looking at November right now for a release, although there's no confirmed release date set. But there is some also news in the latest Game Trader magazine. Another scenario has been published out there. There are a lot of those preview kits that are out there. If you know somebody who has a preview kit, if you have a preview kit yourself, if you've played the preview kit, or you're checking it out on like TTS or anything like that, there is a new scenario that was published in Game Trader magazine that deals with different mechanics, and it deals with hailing and kind of expands upon the rules a little bit. So for fans of Star Trek Into the Unknown, definitely check that out. I know it's been pinned in the Star Trek Into the Unknown Discord. I know it's pinned in my Discord. If you're interested in jumping into Discords and learning more and keeping the discussion going there, you can check the links in the video description below. That has been a quick look at awesome gaming news for September 13th, 2024. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Now, if you know some awesome gaming news, I'd love for you to let me know down in the comments section. Also, we have a $25 Amazon gift card giveaway that's going on. I'm going to be announcing the winner for that next week. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or any of my videos. You can let me know whatever you think. But I also want to pay special attention to if you guys have awesome suggestions for future editions of awesome gaming news. I'd love to hear about it. Somebody in your community that's done something great gaming-wise, maybe some people can't come together and help somebody in your gaming community who's down on his luck. Maybe somebody else created some of the most awesome terrain, or a group came together to come up with the most biggest battles of all time. I think all of that stuff is awesome. All great candidates, and I'd love to hear about it if something is going on in your community. You can let me know in the comments. You can let me know in Discord, social media, all kinds of great stuff like that. I want to be a positive force, sharing positive news in a world that sometimes seems like it could use a little more positivity and a little more awesome gaming news. That's going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are out of this world and help make this whole thing possible. Thank you so much. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. The spice must flow, so say we all, and always wash your socks.